Welcome back, viewers. You're watching WION World is One. I'm Shivan Chan. Now, this is Speed News. Let's begin. President Donald Trump said he has begun arrangements for a face-to-face meeting between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss a pathway to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Trump affirmed that the US would back European security guarantees aimed at preventing Moscow from re-invading its neighbor once the current conflict ends. Speaking on the outcome of the meet at the White House, French President Macron said the most important outcome of the meeting was the US commitment to work with the EU on providing security guarantees. Ukrainian President Zelensky said his country's allies would outline security guarantees to discourage Russia from attacking Ukraine again if a peace deal is reached with Moscow. Zelensky made these remarks while speaking to journalists outside the White House after meeting with US President Donald Trump. Zelensky said that the plans would be formalized in some way within the next week or 10 days. Donald Trump repeated his claim that he helped end 6 international conflicts in the past 6 months. The comments came as Trump has been pushing for a quick resolution to the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. Trump has been advocating himself as a peacemaker and promoting himself for the Nobel Peace Prize. Among the 6 wars that Trump claimed to have ended are the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda war, the Israel-Iran war, India-Pakistan conflict, the Cambodia and Thailand conflict, the Egypt-Ethiopia tensions, and also the conflict between Serbia and Kosovo. While Trump has made these tall claims, 2 on the list date back to Trump's first term, and an agreement was not actually signed in one of those cases, that is between Ethiopia and Egypt. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi held the 24th round of Special Representatives dialogue on the boundary question with National Security Advisor of India, Ajit Doval. The meeting with the National Security Advisor is expected to have covered a range of issues, including the boundary situation, trade, and a possible resumption of flight services between India and China. The Chinese Foreign Minister is also scheduled to meet Indian Prime Minister Modi today. Wang Yi's 2-day official visit to India comes ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit to China later this month to attend the SCO summit in Tianjin. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said his country needed to rapidly expand its nuclear armament and called US South Korea military exercises an obvious expression of their will to provoke war. South Korea and the United States kicked off joint military exercises this week, and that includes testing an upgraded response to heightened North Korean nuclear threats. Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro said he would deploy 45 million militia members in response to what he termed as threats by the US. This comes after the US raised the bounty for Maduro's arrest and launched anti-drug operations in the Caribbean. Official figures say the Venezuelan militia, founded by Maduro's predecessor Hugo Chavez, contains about 5 million people, though the actual number is believed to be smaller. The administration of US President Donald Trump earlier this month doubled its bounty to $50 million for the arrest of Maduro, who faces drug trafficking charges. Speaking on Israel's Gaza operations, Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir said that Israel is at a turning point in the war ahead of the next stage of an offensive against Hamas. The remarks were made while the Chief of Staff was speaking to officers at the Gaza Division headquarters. The conference was also attended by Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Hamas is under atomic pressure as he visited the IDF's Gaza division to meet with senior commanders and discuss plans on operations in Gaza City. The remarks by the Israeli Prime Minister come in the backdrop of reports that Hamas has accepted the latest Egyptian-Qatari ceasefire and hostage release proposal. US State Department has revoked the visas of 6,000 students since Secretary of State Marco Rubio took charge 7 months ago. According to the officials, approximately 4,000 of the 6,000 visas were revoked because the visa holders broke the law. They also highlighted that vast majority of those legal violations were for cases of assault, driving under the influence, burglary, and support for terrorism. This crackdown involves enhanced social media vetting and broader screening processes. The US Justice Department has agreed to provide to Congress documents from the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation, a move that appears to avert, at least temporarily, a potential separation of powers clash. Jeffrey Epstein records are to be turned over starting Friday to the House Oversight Committee. Pakistan and the UK have agreed to strengthen their cooperation in political, economic and climate domains. The statement by the Pakistani Foreign Office came after a meeting between Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar and UK Minister Hamish Falconer in London. According to the Pakistani Foreign Office, during the meeting, Dar shared Pakistan's commitment to economic reforms and perspective on regional developments, including peace and stability in South Asia. Myanmar's military-appointed Electoral Commission announced that it will hold elections beginning December 28th. The Union Election Commission said in a statement to journalists that the elections will be conducted in phases over several days and that a full schedule will be released soon. Critics have denounced the election date announcement as a sham intended to normalize the army's 2021 seizure of power, even as armed conflict rages throughout much of the country. Manika Vishwakarma was crowned Miss Universe India 2025 on the 18th of August at the ceremony held in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Jaipur hosted the pageant for the second consecutive year. The city Manika Vishwakarma received the title from outgoing Miss Universe India 2024 Riya Singha. She will now represent India at the 74th Miss Universe pageant, scheduled to be held in November in Thailand. All schools in Mumbai will remain shut today in the wake of the heavy rainfall. The Met Department says some areas in the Konkan and the Ghats of central Maharashtra may witness heavy to extremely heavy rainfall. In Marathwada, there is a possibility of heavy to very heavy rain at isolated places. Heavy rainfall continued for the third consecutive day on Monday, resulting in flooding, massive traffic congestion and delayed train and bus services. In Jammu and Kashmir, water supply and roads have been cut off due to landslides triggered by cloudbursts in Kotwa during the intervening night of Saturday and Sunday. At least 7 people were killed and many others were injured in 2 separate incidents of cloudburst and landslide. 5 people lost their lives due to flooding caused by cloudburst in Jodhghati, while 2 persons were killed in a landslide in Janglote.
ये तो सारा वीडियो गेम खेल रहा है।
Hurricane Erin is currently a massive Category 4 storm swirling in the Atlantic after bursting in intensity at a record-breaking rate this past weekend. Huge waves from the hurricane are predicted to hit parts of the East Coast and Bermuda. Conditions are predicted to get worse through the middle of the week. OpenAI has launched a new subscription, ChatGPT Go, in India at rupees 399 per month, a fifth of the Plus plan at rupees 1999. The plan offers 10 times more queries and image generation daily, but peak hour and priority access stay with Plus and Pro users. The tier also supports UPI payments as OpenAI targets India as its top market by volume. Recently, CEO Sam Altman said that India is key for AI adoption with local partnerships and affordability focus. The launch follows GPT-5 and ChatGPT-4 tools. With 700 million users globally, India is OpenAI's second largest base, set to drive growth past 1 billion users. Competitors charge rupees 1,950 to 2,000 for similar AI plans. Linktree, the popular link in bio service used by millions, has been inaccessible in India for several days, with both website and app down. WhatsApp has rolled out a new scheduled calls feature, allowing users to set up calls in advance for both group and one-on-one chats. According to Meta, all those who have been added to a scheduled group WhatsApp call will get a notification before the call starts. The feature, rolling out globally, is end-to-end encrypted and aims to rival Google Meet, Zoom and Teams. According to WhatsApp, users will also now be able to raise their hand or react with an emoji when on a WhatsApp call. WhatsApp has also made UI changes. These are user interface changes to make it easier for users to manage calls. For instance, users will now be able to visit the calls tab and see upcoming WhatsApp calls with a list of attendees, as well as an option to share a link to join the call. US insurance giant Allianz Life disclosed a July data breach impacting most of its 1.4 million users. While Allianz has not confirmed exact figures, breach site Have I Been Pwned flagged 1.1 million records exposed. Hackers stole names, contacts, addresses and social security numbers from a Salesforce database. Now the attack is linked to the Shiny Hunters gang, also tied to breaches at Google, Cisco, Qantas and Pandora. Separately, HR tech provider Workday confirmed hackers accessed a third-party database on the 6th of August, exposing contact details of users. While core HR data was not hit, experts warned the stolen info could fuel social engineering attacks targeting Workday's 11,000 corporate clients and 70 million users. India has suspended its 11% import duty on cotton until the end of September. The move comes as exporters grapple with a steep 50% tariff on shipments to the US. The higher duty puts Indian exporters at a disadvantage compared to rivals like Bangladesh, Vietnam and China. Industry groups had urged the government to scrap cotton import duties to help cut costs and stay competitive. However, challenges remain. India's garment sector is already battling a labor crunch and capacity constraints, while some exporters are even weighing production shifts overseas. With India targeting $100 billion in textile exports by 2030, the government may be pushed to extend the duty-free window beyond September. Thailand's industrial sentiment has slumped to its lowest level in 3 years, falling for the fifth straight month in July. The Federation of Thai Industry says the index dropped as businesses worry about the fallout from US tariffs and rising tensions along the Cambodian border. Uncertainty remains over transshipment routed through Thailand. The US is Thailand's largest export market, adding to the pressure are domestic challenges, including severe flooding in the north and weakening consumer demand. Together, these risks are weighing heavily on confidence in Southeast Asia's second-largest economy. The US dollar held firm as markets turned their focus to upcoming events and announcements. The dollar index edged up, with traders cautious after President Trump assured Ukraine of US security backing in any peace deal with Russia. Markets are also eyeing the Federal Reserve's Jackson Hole Symposium this week, where Fed Chair Jerome Powell is expected to outline the central bank's policy path. Meanwhile, cryptocurrencies struggled, with Bitcoin and Ether extending losses after record highs last week in equities. Japanese markets hit fresh records, while the Australian and New Zealand dollars firmed on upbeat consumer sentiment. Sterling also rebounded slightly, stabilizing after recent weakness. Fast fashion giant Shein is reportedly weighing a move to shift its headquarters back to mainland China in hopes of securing Beijing's approval for its long-delayed IPO. According to Bloomberg, the Singapore-based retailer has consulted lawyers about restructuring under a Chinese parent company founded in China. Shein has struggled to get regulatory clearance for an offshore listing after earlier attempts in New York and London failed amid political scrutiny in the US and UK. With Washington-Beijing tensions running high, Shein is now eyeing Hong Kong as its preferred venue, but approval from Chinese regulators remains the biggest hurdle. A man who was arrested on suspicion of racially abusing Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo has been banned from every football stadium in the UK. Bournemouth's opener against champions Liverpool on Friday was briefly stopped in the 29th minute after Semenyo reported the incident to the referee. A 47-year-old man from Liverpool was arrested on suspicion of a racially aggravated public order offence, which has been conditionally bailed. As part of his bail, conditions, he cannot attend any regulated football match in the UK and is not allowed within a mile of any football stadium. A Californian woman known as the ketamine queen has agreed to plead guilty to supplying the drug that tragically led to the death of beloved Friends star and actor Matthew Perry. Jasveen Sangha's decision to accept a plea deal brings to a close a high-profile case that has captured international attention. Kelly Clarkson is set to launch a new 4-part special series, Songs and Stories with Kelly Clarkson, with the inaugural episode featuring none other than the Jonas Brothers. The series offers intimate conversations and musical performances. During the first episode, the American songstress and the famous sibling trio reminisce about their shared history. Joking about the time the Jonas Brothers served as an opening act for one of Clarkson's tours 2 decades ago.
We were not in Oprah. We were like in the parking lot on like a BBB season.
The stars of the new Amazon Prime Video spy thriller Butterfly delighted fans at a red carpet event in Seoul. The event, held in anticipation of the show's South Korean premiere, drew a large crowd eager to see the cast, including lead actor Daniel Dae-Kim and his Korean co-stars. The series, which premiered in the United States on the 13th of August, is scheduled to launch in South Korea on the 22nd of August. Kim, who not only stars in the show but also serves as an executive producer, described Butterfly as a cross-cultural storytelling milestone and a lifelong dream, which came true during the fan event. In a stunning box office triumph, superstar Rajnikant's latest film Coolie has shattered records to become the biggest Tamil opener worldwide, eclipsing the performance of previous blockbusters 2.0, Leo and Jailer. Directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj, the action spectacle raked in a phenomenal $48.5 million within just 4 days, cementing Rajnikant's unparalleled star power. Veteran actor Achyut Potdar, a familiar face in both Bollywood and the Marathi entertainment industry, passed away. He was 91. The exact cause of death has not been disclosed. The actor is fondly remembered for his role in the film Three Idiots. His other notable works also include films like Ardh Satya, Ye Dil Lagi and Vastav.